You open your eyes. Before your feet touch the floor, before you even remember your own name for the day, your hand is already moving. It reaches for the phone. Not because you decided to. It just happens. The same way your lungs pull in air without asking permission. You tell yourself it's just a habit. It isn't. What's actually happening in that half second is one of the most quietly engineered moments of your entire day. Why the phone? And why immediately? You haven't opened your eyes fully. There's no message you're expecting, no emergency you're bracing for. And yet the reach happens anyway. Automatic. Almost involuntary. This isn't curiosity. Curiosity would wait a beat. This is closer to compulsion. The neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz spent decades studying a chemical in your brain called dopamine, and what he found reshaped how we understand desire itself. For a long time, people assumed dopamine spiked when you got a reward. Schultz's research showed something stranger. Dopamine spikes mainly at the anticipation of a reward, especially when that reward is uncertain. Your brain isn't chasing pleasure. It's chasing the not knowing. When you unlock your phone, you don't know what's waiting. Maybe nothing. Maybe a message, a like, a comment that makes you feel seen. That uncertainty is the entire engine. If you knew exactly what was on the screen every time, the pull would weaken almost immediately. But you don't. And that unpredictability isn't a side effect of how your phone works. It's the product. This is where the story stops being about willpower and starts being about design. The systems behind infinite scroll, autoplay and push notifications were built using the same psychological principles as slot machines. Not metaphorically. The psychologist B.F. Skinner discovered decades ago that a reward given unpredictably creates a far stronger, more persistent urge to repeat a behavior than a reward given every single time. Your phone runs on exactly that pattern. Every swipe up, every glance at a notification is a lever pull dressed up as communication. So the morning reach isn't really about checking messages. It's a slot machine pull, timed to the very first available moment of your day, before your conscious mind has even come online to object. Here's the part that makes this stranger still. Your brain is most vulnerable to this pull right when you wake up, not despite being groggy, but because of it. The neuroscientist Matthew Walker, known for his sleep research, has explained that your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for impulse control, is one of the slowest regions to activate after sleep. Meanwhile, the more reactive, reward-seeking parts of your brain come online faster. For a short window right after waking, you're running on less impulse control than you'll have an hour later. Reaching for the phone in that window isn't a failure of discipline. It's your brain being caught at its most reactive, right beside a system engineered to exploit exactly that. Does that mean you're powerless? Not exactly. But it does mean the story you've been telling yourself, that you're just weak-willed, is the wrong story entirely. You're not fighting a personal flaw, you're fighting a system built by teams of behavioral scientists, funded by companies whose business model depends on you reaching for that lever as often as possible. There's one more layer worth knowing. For most of human history, novelty meant something. A new sound in the grass, a change in the weather, these were signals worth noticing immediately, because sometimes they mattered for survival. Your brain never lost that wiring. It still treats novelty as urgent, even when the novelty is just a red notification bubble with a number in it. The number means nothing, but your brain doesn't know that. It just knows something changed, and change used to mean pay attention now. So what do you actually do with this? Not overhaul your relationship with technology overnight. Just notice the moment. The next time you wake up and feel your hand already moving toward the nightstand before your mind is even in the room, pause for 1 second. Not out of guilt, out of curiosity. Ask yourself what you're actually reaching for. 9 times out of 10, it isn't information. It's the possibility of something. And once you can see that clearly, the pull starts to lose its grip. Not because you've developed more willpower, but because you can finally see the lever for what it is. You open your eyes. Before your feet touch the floor, your hand starts to move. This time, though, you notice it moving. And noticing, it turns out, is the first real choice you've had in that moment all along.